Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning. So let us continue with our Angular revision session. Okay. So let me share my screen. So now you unmute yourself and tell me. So why Angular is a single page application?
It has only one index HTML
Every
page.
content will load under index only.
So here we're having the only one index.html, remaining all array components will be load. Okay. So coming to the folder structure, what are the files? What are the folders and files? First one is the node modules. Yeah. Go with your order, whatever you remember. Yeah, Chinared, go with order. Which? Yeah, folder, node modules. Next, SRC folder. Next, package.json, package log.json, angler.json, tsconfig.json files. Okay. Next. So for example, if I add any third party library, I want to add a bootstrap or else so on, so I added. Which files are modified? What will happen internally?
Node module folder will update
package.json. Yes, node modules will be, those libraries will be add inside of your node modules, and your package.json file will be changed. Package.log.json also will be changed that specific library path. Okay. Next. So what is a module? What is a module?
Module is a future.
Okay. So modules are the building blocks of your Angular application. A feature is created as a module. For example, login is a module. Card is a module. It can able to have debit and credit card. Next, purchases is a model. There you can able to purchase different items. Billing is a model. It can able to have the billing, card details, printing, downloading, uploading, everything. Okay. Next, what is a root module in Angular application?
App module.
App module is the root module. So what is mean by feature module and how to create a feature module? What is the command?
Get module
ngm and module name.
Okay. Next. So we seen a data bindings in the earlier session. So what is the service under types of services? What is the mean by service?
Service is a reusable component. Like
everyone unmute yourself and try to give answers whatever you know. Service is nothing but a simply reusable class file. Okay, it's not a combo, reusable. So either by using these services you can able to perform API calls, or else you can able to share a information between the component. For example, once user is logged in, I need to communicate login.js file for the user details. Okay. Next, I want to call an API to get post, put, and delete operations. Okay. What is the success status code? API success got structure 200.
Okay.
Failure?
404. 504
not found.
Yes, sir. Correct. 400, 404, 500. So success means yes. For example, API is there, but no data.
404.
404 means not found, right?
Still
so API is not at API is there.
400 bad request.
Perfect. 400 bad request. API will be there. 4 not found. Your API is not found. So take that list. But it is not important, but it can be important. Success means
200.
200. API status. Codes. But the experienced people have to be no, 200 success. For example, failure. API exists to no data. 400 bad request. Next, API not found. What is 404? Not found.
Not found.
Next, 500.
Internal server error.
Any
Internal
server error. Server is, for example, you are deploying the information that server is not in a active state. It is in the ideal state because few DLLs are into the picture, few jar files are into picture, few are not. So internal server error is nothing but a 500. It will show internal server error. Next. Next. 300 for which series? So there is a series are there. Just have a look at it. You are going to get a code, but these are the important codes. So mostly you're going with either bad request are not found or success or internal. Anything? There is a series called 2 series, 3 series, 300 series, 4 series, and 500 series. Okay. So have a look and have a list of all the things. But anybody take that responsibility, create a sheet, send to me, I will share to the students. Okay. Next. So what is the definition of dependency injection? Why you are using? Dependency injection is a design pattern. Tell me, just add your thought.
Using dependency injection, we can easily inject.
I will give. So dependency injection is a design pattern. When you need the dependencies, you can able to import. Import the dependencies as needed. So why we're coming to the dependency injection? Why dependency means today you are going to be create an object of your class. So tomorrow object constructors can be changed. That class constructor can change with the parameters. What will happen?
We need to change code.
Wherever it is consumed. To avoid that one, what will happen now? For example, component A is there, component B is there. Component B specific values are changed, you are consuming. That component B class. Already we've seen it the example earlier. No? So I'm just giving the overview. So you need to be changed all the components wherever it got consumed. So is that correct? No. So a component, higher order component should not be depend on the lower order component. So people will be say higher order means a component which is in the highest priority. For example, you are going to be consume, what will be think you are the highest priority now. So you're going to be consume some data. Okay. So higher order component should not be depend on the lower order component properties or lower order components. To handle that situation, we're going to be work with the dependency injection. So by default, nowadays .NET Core and latest technologies are coming with a dependency injection. Earlier, we don't have any dependency. Nowadays, Angular, all this having a dependency injection. Okay. Next, what is mean by global service?
Can be used in
Yeah, Vijay, go ahead. Everyone. What is mean by global service? So service which are created and consumed inside of your app module.ts file, or else provider in is the root. If you have the provider in is the root is the global service. Local service means you created a service which are specific. If you're consuming a specific module called local service. Okay. So reusable service means what is mean by shared service? People will ask. What is mean by shared service?
The services which I have provided in root, so those are called as a reusable service.
Okay, what is mean by shared service? Simple. Shared service or nothing. The name is the shared to share the information between the component. Login can be a shared service. To confuse you only, that question will be. What is mean by context service?
So if you have any common functionalities in our application, we can keep in one service and
Okay. So what is mean by utility service?
Same thing like as context.
So hardly utility, context, common, all these are the same names only, but different. But people will be compare their project and will ask the questions to the people. They will not expect. They are thinking that utility service are every there. No, those are the names specific to the specific project. Utility means using. Common means a common for all. Shared means a sharing for all the information. Context, mostly context is the API service. You're going to be create API service. API is the one more service people can be create as a API service, HTTP service. All these are the same. So next, if you want to call a API, what is the steps we need to be follow to call an API? Yes,
import a HTTP client.
First, import the HTTP client in app module. Step 1. Next.
Okay.
Step 2.
Then
Create a separate service file.
service.
Next, in that separate service file, import HTTP client from where, Vijay? Angular /
4.
common / HTTP. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So by default code common / HTTP. We remember that point. Sir. Okay. Next. So how to install HTTP client in Angular application? What is the command?
I think we are not installing it.
Correct. We're not installing. By default, Angular is a framework which contains a set of libraries.
HTTP client module in the app module.
Yes, correct. So here my question is, do we need to install nothing? It is a part of your Angular framework. Angular framework is a set of libraries which contains all these things. Okay. Next. How many ways to call an API? What are the techniques to call an API?
Using fetch HTTP.
Okay, using the fetch. Fetch is the example of promised. 2 ways, promise or else subscription. Okay, observable and subscriber pattern. So promise means even though subscriber is there or not, you will get the data. So observer means whenever you are having the subscriber, then only you will get the data. Okay, by default, our HTTP client methods are a observable and subscribe design pattern. This observable and subscribe is the one of the design pattern in a gang of 4. Do you know the gang of 4? Yeah. So there is a gang means 4, not a chutney gang. These are the gang of the 4. Those 4 members are developed 23 design patterns. So these design patterns will provide a code for us. The Angular follows the which design pattern? Angular follows the
single page SOP.
MVC design pattern. Okay, single page. Where is O for? SINGOL is SINGAL PAG page, but O for no. So Angular is a
MVC design.
Angular is developed by using the MVC architectural design pattern. So you are going to have a model of V1 to controller. Controller is nothing but your component. Okay, remember that one. So Angular is used to develop a single page applications. Angular is used to develop a single page. Why we are using Angular? Why Angular?
It's a single page application. It is a sugar coded of JavaScript.
Okay. Next. But a client, why client has to be used this Angular application? So clients are suggesting, please use the Angular application for my application. Please use the Reactive.
Completely one framework is there, like.
Okay, it is having a specific framework. Angular is a framework and it is following a certain design pattern. Okay. Next. So I will give, if you want, you can able to take. Already we have taken earlier. So why Angular means Angular is a framework which used to develop a single page applications. First and foremost, single page application. Next,
supports two-way data binding easily.
Yeah, Angular very easy to bind the data. Data binding is a very headache thing in a real time to develop any application. Very easy to develop. I mean, very easy to develop and integrate the application. Next, even for the existing also, very easy to integrate for the existing applications. For example, in my first company, the application is from the 25 years. Even the 20 or 25 also, a specific module we can able to develop in Angular or React. Okay, Angular, take it as a Angular. Okay, we can do means yes, we can do because it is specific Angular application. Ultimately, it is a generating JavaScript files. That's it. You can develop inside of Angular means very easy to client point of view. Angular is a framework very easy to integrate and low consumption time where you are going to get a more consuming the time. For example, you want to add a data binding if you want to perform a validation. If you are using the reactive forms, how much time is required for a form to create? If I give the skeleton to you as a UI UX developer, I will give a skeleton to you. So now tell me, I need the 10 controls. I already given the 10 controls. I want to perform a data binding and perform a validations. How much time needed if I use the Angular?
Very
simple. Creating a form control. That's it. Half an hour or 1 hour, not more than that. Just for testing is the important. Simply, you are going to use choose either template driven forms and reactive. Template means you are going to use the two-way data bind. Reactive forms means you are going to use the form control, form group, those things. Okay. Got it? So client point of view, very easy to integrate. Next, testing cases. Test cases also important. So nowadays, as a part of a development, we're going to be writing test cases. These test cases are nothing but not a testing point of view, tester point of view test cases. Developer point of view test cases to test. I mean, your code is working on all situations, but nobody not writing that one. You are everybody proving that my test cases are success. For example, in null condition, how your objective data is behaving. Data is not there, data is existing, data is partially existing like this. Data is not at a defined, data is not at assigned, data is partially exist like this. Different cases are there. But unit testing itself take a 1.5 months. You to be perfect on Angular and then very easy to learn that one. Next. So what are the Angular directives and purpose of Angular directive?
Directive means it is changing the behavior of element.
Perfect. Simply remember the attributes in HTML. The purpose of attributes in HTML to add the appearance and behavior. Appearance means styling. The behavior means action. Same here also attributes are directives are attributes. So same like HTML. So these directives will add the either appearance and behavior. Types of directives.
NG class.
Types. Yes,
structural directive.
Structural directive.
Structural. Conditional directives.
No. Structural directive means star ng for you both merge it together. No. Yeah, generally types of directives. Component directive. Next. Attribute directives. Next. Structural directives. Component directive means if you define a component itself, a component directive. All these are the built-in directives. Next, if I want to write attribute directive, what are the attribute directives?
NG class, NG style.
NG class, NG style, NG model. So the attribute which you having the prefix NG, so the name which are having the prefix NG, all are those attribute directives. Okay. Next is structural directives. Now you can able to say like star ng for star ng for.
This change the structure of the element.
So now tell me when to use let item off and when to use let item in. Already I told yesterday. So again this question asked for Vijay. When to use let item off, when to use let item in.
It is in. We are using in our .NET server side.
No. Here also, not only server side. So if you're dealing with object, then you need to be used when let item in. Okay, so server side in the .NET, everything is an object, no? So because of that one. So if you're using the client side, I mean the client side, client perspective for the object and array are the collection of the items. Which are the specific object collection of items are a individual object. So specific object means object is if we're talking item in. If you're talking about an array, let item of array. Okay, of for array, in for
Object.
In for object. This can be a question also. So it will be loop through. So each time it will provide a key. You need to consume. Next, what is the purpose of a pipes in Angular? What is mean by pipe? Because pipes are represented by using the pipe symbol, so we're calling as a pipes. So purpose of pipes?
Just for displaying the as per
transforming
customer
the-
requirement.
Pipes are used as per the customer requirement if you want to transform the data and the display. So pipes are used to transform the data. So in our computer keyboard, you are going to be use the pipe symbol. That's why we are calling as a concept of a pipe. So how many types of pipes? Types of pipes.
Currency.
Lowercase, uppercase.
Lowercase, uppercase, currency,
Percentage.
number,
Percentage.
date, number.
Number, percentage. Like this, we are having a different pipes. Practice 1 or 2 times. Okay. Next, Angular life cycle hooks.
In the pipes, we have pure, impure. What is the difference?
So pure means directly it given. Na? So come with the best example. I will give. I'm not getting the best example to show. That's why a few examples I'm not showing. So you're having the async and non-async also. Pipes are not a one concept. Each and every upgradation of Angular where it is upgrading. Next, Angular lifecycle hooks. So yeah, tell me, already you seeing now? So what is mean by lifecycle hook?
NG on in it.
No. What is mean by lifecycle hook? So lifecycle hooks means whenever your component is going to be load and unload. In between process called an life cycle. In this life cycle, few events are going to be fired. Those are called life cycle event hooks. Now tell me, what are those? By default, if you define a Angular applications are a component. Each component is a class. Other than this one, no choice. So class contain a constructor. Okay. Next, constructor and destroy. Other than this one, we are going to have the 7 other. Total 9 hooks are. Tell me what are those? So component will have the ng on it. ng on changes. ng do check. 3 completed.
3.
Next, if you take a content is nothing but a model. Model contain a ng after content in it. ng after content checked. Now tell me for view.
Same. For view also same.
ng.
View init, view after checked.
ng after view init, ng after view checked. Yeah, tell me ng after view init, ng after view checked. Remember this one. So I will give you that lifecycle hooks to remember now. Yeah. So Angular is contain a component. Component is a class. If you say class contain a default a constructor and destroy. 2 are there. Out of 9, 2 are coming left. Next. So it is a architecture of component v1 controller. Component v1 your model. MVC. So M for a model contain ng after view, ng after content in it. Next ng after content checked. That is for the model. View. Same as the content here ng after view in it, ng after view checked. Next. Yeah, ready. Next component means what are those? ng on in it, ng on changes, ng do check. That's it. 9. Next. So forms are two types we have seen, template driven forms and reactive forms. So how to deal with the reactive forms? Give me the steps, everyone.
First import the reactive.
First we need to be import
reactive
form module.
So first we need to import reactive forms module in app module. Step number 1. Next step number 2.
In the component file also we need to import
we need to be import. What are those? Form group, correct. Next form builder. Next
we need to create a model with form builder.
We need to create a model with a form group, but form group means by using the new keyword. So we are going to be use a form builder instead of form group. Form builder will be create a form group for you. Form builder you need to be add as a dependency. Okay. Next form control. Each controller element is the form control. If you are using a form builder, no need to write a controller. You can able to add a square bracket. Okay. Next, how to check form is valid or not. For example, let us our form is the insurance form. Now tell me how to check my insurance form is valid or not. Chenna ready? 2 minutes. Everyone.
Using status like
not
get,
like a
get
status.
Value
this
dot status.
Convert this dot insurance dot like
status. This dot form dot get dot status invalid or valid.
That is the specific element you are saying. I'm asking about overall form. This dot insurance dot status. Next, if I asking about a form level, this dot insurance dot get you need to be give the specific control name dot
status.
Next, how to add validations in a reactive forms?
Validator dot required.
So first you need to import the validators. Then you need to be use validators dot required validators dot email validators dot pattern like this. You need to be add. Okay. So once you add the validators now, so by using which method can I get the specific validation? Email or required? What is the syntax? I have added a email validation and required validation. For email control, how to check my email is valid and how to check my email is a valid email type? Is dot insurance dot get
off email.
Get off email dot has error. Has error is the method. Okay, practice. So it will come. Has error is the method. Has error of required. Has error of email. It will provide you the. So this is the way very easy to work validations in a reactive forms. So how to check my form is modified or not in a template driven form as well as a reactive form?
In form is dirty.
Okay, in a reactive form, so this dot insurance dot form dirty. Form dirty is the property to check in a template driven form. So in a template driven form, there is a no form dirty. You need to be check object contains, I mean, any value has been changed, or else you need to be write ng on change. Yes.
Default value is false, right? Form dirty. If it is changed, it will be true.
Yes. It will be changed, it will be true. Form dirty is true. Until if you not change, form dirty is false. Okay, template driven forms, you need to be handle the form is dirty, form is valid or not, form data, everything. Okay, so what is the achievement over template to, I mean, template to react to and react to form versus to template driven forms? So tell me, what is the advantage over reactive forms if I take template?
Reactive validations can be easily implemented in the reactive.
So my question is reverse that in that case. So what is the advantage of template driven forms compared to reactive forms and which case?
Template driven, you know, easily we can
only binding
yes,
is a simple in
template driven forms are very easy to bind whenever you are having a grid type of data to bind a grid binding. You don't have any validations, you can able to go with your form is a simpler or else you don't have any validation. For example, login, email and password, you don't need to go with that one. Okay. So when your page is simpler, then template driven forms are simple. Whenever your page is complex, then go with the reactive forms to handle the validations, forms, that everything.
In can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
యాక్చువల్గా నేను గూగుల్ చేశాను, రియాక్టివ్ ఫార్మ్స్ మీరు సబ్మిట్ అని రాపించారు, దాంట్లో ఎన్జీ సబ్మిట్, ఎన్జీ ఫార్మ్, అంటే 2 ways గా కూడా we can implement 2 days లో.
So it is the form, FORM form is the tag. If you want to go with the ng submit, you can able to go with the ng submit for the form specific. At the time I told, form is the HTML element, it contains the on submit. So whenever in a real time 100%, if you are using the form, you are going with the ng submit. Or else, or instead of the ng submit, can I go with a click action? Means yes, you can able to go with a click action.
Most of the examples on ng submit
ng
only.
Form. Most in the real time you are going to be work with here. So very easy to handle a form. Okay, very at the time I shown, I have created a simple example to fire a validation with the submit. Okay, forms are a separate concept in HTML. Same like the here also form having a specific role. Okay, so either you can able to use the plain click action, or else, for example, if I use the form, how to reset a data? I want to clear all my fields. How to reset and how many ways? Input type reset. Input type reset. Manually you can able to create a function and then assign a empty values to the each and every control. Okay, or else you can able to reset by creating an object. Or else input type reset. So input type reset means it is possible because of a form only. Okay. Next.
What
so
about
Angular
ng form?
ng hyphen form is not a Angular specific. I mean, it's not a normal form. It is an Angular specific one. So there is a no real time situation. Okay. So in the real time, you are not going to be use the ng form, ng hyphen form. Okay. So there is a ng hyphen. So check for this one. It is the Angular JS version or Angular 2 versions. Okay. Next. Hope everybody clear about all the CLI commands. Create a component, create a model, create a routing, create a service, create a project, everything. Next. So these are the HTTP headers. So what is the purpose of a header in API call?
When we are sending the request to the...
So when you are sending the request, we need to be send in a header. So what type of informations we are going to be send inside of header?
Like authorization.
Perfect.
Application type, it's
correct. What type of the data you are going to be deal? Next, what type of authentication or authentication? Nothing but you are going to send a tokens. Why I need to send inside of headers only? Can't able to send plain data. So how many ways to send information from a UI to API?
Using URL, then
yes,
body
either using
header.
the URL or else a body. Okay, so content is sent by using the URL or else sent by using the body of a API. So if you want to add a body, you need to create a header. So inside in this header, you want to tell what type of content it is. Okay, next, if you want to add what type of the authentication or else any token, everything. Okay. So how to handle a global error handler? How to handle a global error handler?
Create one service and just we import the handler from Angular core.
Correct. So you need to create a separate service, simply implement that one error handler. And come to the app module.ts file, you need to use error. Same like if you observe here, HTTP interceptors. Okay. So if you're using the context service.ts file, which is the only one API where API calls are going to be performed, there you can able to directly send a token. But people will ask a question, what is mean by interceptor? Yeah, tell me. HTTP interceptor and error also interceptor means. Interceptor means whenever your API call is going to be performed, if you want to add any headers. So if you're using the context service, context is the only one service in our application which we take in earlier in our project. So at that time we were using the context service. There we are sending the information. So while sending the information also, if you want to handle or add any token inside of the header, still you can do by the concept of interceptor. So how you developed error handler? By using the error handler in app module, you are using the error handler. Use class error handler. Same situation, same like that one. This interceptor is a service. Here you need to use concept of HTTP interceptor, same like that one. You need to add a use class, everything is the same. But when this will be fire means, whenever if you call any API call, this interceptor will be fire. But purpose means if you want to send a token. Clear? Yeah, now tell me what is the purpose of interceptor and which case we are using? So if you want to perform API calls, you can able to perform API calls. If you want to intercept that API call and you want to add a token, how to implement means simply, however we are implemented error handling, same we need to be implement interceptor. Okay, same you need to be add a use class. So whenever API calls are performing, this interceptor will be called. Okay, once I try it, if you have still doubt, let me know. Okay, I will create a video and I will give it to you. Simple, 2 to 3 lines of code, not more than one. Next. So what is mean by lazy loading?
Whenever the component is used.
That time only.
So lazy loading means when you want, yes, on demand, if you want to load a specific feature of application, we're going to deal with a lazy loading. So how to achieve lazy loading?
Creating the
if you want to achieve, you need to create a separate separate module. Okay.
Module.
Separate routing, separate components. Your components needs to be registered inside of separate in that specific module and routing add in that module. So from the UI perspective, app routing module.ts file, you need to be call a module for that route. So in normal early loading, you need to be call a component, but in a lazy loading, you need to be call a module for that route. So what is the syntax? By using a load children. Load children is the syntax. You need to be call a load children. So load children will be load. Okay. So load children, you need to be used for that. Next. So yes, one of the important last concept is a head time of compilation, AOT. How many ways to compile Angular application? Take this one as a notes. Angular application compilation types. What is mean by Angular application compilation? Is why we need the Angular compilation tools, or why we need the Angular compilation?
To transpile TS file to JS.
Yes, to transfer the Angular specific TypeScript code to Angular, TypeScript code to browser understandable JavaScript. Which compilation tool we are using?
NG.
Which compilation tool? Which framework we are using to compile our Angular application? Node.js. Node.js is the compilation tool. So Node.js is the library. Node.js is the framework where it will use it to compile your Angular application and convert Angular and TypeScript code to browser understandable JavaScript. How many ways means 2 ways. Take a notes, 2 ways. First one is the JIT. JIT means just in time compiler. JIT means just in time compiler. So it is a default up to Angular 8 version. It will compile the Angular code at a runtime. JIT compiler will be compile your Angular code at runtime. But while you are dealing with the project, you don't need to worry about a JIT or AOT. You are a developer, you are going to write your application specific feature. That's it. Okay, but these are the concepts. So it will compile the Angular code at a runtime. Next one is the AOT. AOT means ahead of time compiler, means it is a JIT means just in time compiler. Okay, here is spell mistake. Just in a time. Okay, here AOT ahead of time compile. It is a default from Angular 9 version. Okay, it compile the Angular application yet compile time. Ahead of time compiler is nothing but when you building the application, it will convert. So it will compile and convert your browser specific files at compile time. So how you are compiling how to build the application? ng build --- AOT. You are running ng server na? ng server space -- AOT. So what is the feature na? If application server run with AOT compiler will never get map files. Map files means TS files in the developer tools. So if you use the just-in-time compiler, just-in-time compiler is the developer time compilation. AOT is nothing but a runtime compilation. I mean, while after deployment, you need to be compile the code at that time. So if you're using the AOT compiler with this code, you can't able to see that mapped, you can't able to see that TS files in your browser. Got it? That mapping files will be off. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So if you are using normal ng build, so you can able to see because so sorry, if I use the ng build -- prod, ng build -- prod means it will be convert what is the difference? ng build and ng build -- prod convert Angular files to JS files with versions and minified files. It will minify the data. Okay, can we see? Yes, we can see this one. All our commands we can able to see. Let us go here, Angular batch 12, Angular example here. Let me compile cmd ng build -- prod. This is called production mode build. Once you compile, it will be generated the file. So ng server will be it will perform ng build and load the application inside of your browser. If you perform ng build, it will build only. ng server means it will be build and load your application. See here, it is saying that -- prod is depreciated in the latest version. So simply go and add a default configuration production. Where to add a configuration? In the environment.ts file. Okay, see here, it will generating the files with a specific version. Yes or no? So each time if you generate, you need to be changed. So why we are using the versioning to the JavaScript files? Because JS files are cached in the client browser. Okay, new changes will not replicate after deployment. To avoid this case, we are using JS version. So like this, we are going to use the JavaScript version. So inability, if you compile with prod mode, all these files will be compiled inside a specific version. And these are the minified files only. Okay. Once you are deploying application in index.html, you are need to be refer this one. These files will be added as a reference. Okay. All are JavaScript and CSS only. How many? Main, style, polyfill, runtime. Runtime means browser specific one. Okay. JavaScript is specific to the browser, no browser specific one. Polyfiles means if you want to add in any libraries will be converted into polyfiles. So you reading them component TS5 component HTML that will be rendered inside of a main.css. Next, by seeing the script and styles, if you have any script or any styles, all your styles will be common styles will be rendered inside of a styles. Got it? The difference between the files. Main file. Why you are using the main.js? Main.js is nothing but you created a components and all will be loaded. Styles means all your application styles. Scripts means if you have any specific scripts you want to add it. Polyfills means if you are adding any third-party libraries will be added here. Runtime means JavaScript is the specific to a browser. Sir, no. Will be so all is a runtime specific to the JS file. Those will be added in a runtime.js file. Only 4 JS files, 1 CSS file. Okay, do one thing. Change your component, rerun here. Again, a version of the main file will be changed. So if you don't change anything, rerun again, the same version will be there. Change the CSS, then styles will be changed. Okay, these are the files. Clear? So here you are having the different versions. They may ask what are the new inside after 2, 4, 5, few concepts. Okay. So for the Angular material, I will create a separate series and I will give to my students. Huh? So please focus on this, my YouTube channel. You are going to be get, for example, I will create a CLI series, material series. All the series are in progress. We'll do and we'll upload. You will get it. Not immediately. I need to be complete. Okay. So are you facing any difficulty in any concept? Still, if you have any doubts, any concept. So are you so already said now it is our promise at the base you need to be get a experience for the real time. So still anything is lack. Leave about your practice. If you're not able to practice, then it will be there. Yeah, Umesh, what's your thought?
Yes, I think so.
All covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sivateja, yeah, please add it. Your opinion on the sessions.
Yeah, hi. So basically I'm experienced person, backend experienced person. So I have a total experience of 8 years. I shifted to a new company, so there they have a requirement saying like I need to work on Angular also. So before these 8 years, I worked on JavaScript and jQuery, but not yet worked on any special framework like Angular and React. So by the time I heard the requirement, so one of my friends has suggested Krishna Chaitanya for his sessions. So I joined in the session, and it is very, it is very useful for me. But the only thing that I need to change is like I need to practice a lot because of not having the time. I'm not doing that. So hope these videos will help me for further practice.
Yes, so you can able to follow the videos and you can able to complete. And if you have still any doubt in any specific components, so if you want anybody else, sir, it is the too much important topic. Please do any specific series for this one. I can able to conduct that one also. Okay. So it's not about one day to complete our relation. It is a continuous relation for our student. Today you came for the Angular, tomorrow you're having the requirement of React. Not now, maybe in the future.
Yes,
So or else maybe in the future you're having the Python requirement. Going to start a Python also soon, not immediately, maybe after 4 months. So React is going to be started. Maybe next I will plan for the React. So in the student point of view, also third and fourth year students also, I'm planning for that those sessions to be conducted. Okay. So
Python
while you are
also you will
changing
teach or someone else?
No. I'm not going to give anybody else. So everything. So whatever there in my platform, whatever I will do because I will have the confidence on me. I will deliver the good subject. Okay. So students also confident on me. First students means if I post or you are other someone else. So in my trainings means I'm not going to give to anyone else. I only will handle that. Okay. So thanks for your effort to join. Only the things is please try to be practice and complete. Have this scenario and try to be implemented. Take a form. For example, we are completed insurance. That try to complete an insurance project. Take it as or else food item, simple food item project or something. Take it as a one project and try to be implement from the scratch to all the concept. And let me know if you are still anytime if you're facing the issue, send to me screenshot. So not error, including that code screenshot also I will guide you. Okay. Still anybody wants to add anything else? So
మనము ఎక్కడ కస్టమ్ URL ఎక్కడ చేస్తామంటే లోకల్ హోస్ట్ టు 4200.
So currently you are going to use the localhost 4200. Okay. So who will purchase the servers? Companies will be purchased and the network team will be create a hosted URL for us now. Okay.
Even in our local also we can create instead of
4,000. So in general, okay, in the .NET perspective, we are asking about. So if you are using Node.js, so Node.js servers will be to create a localhost 4200. So for this, your question in the .NET perspective, earlier, if you want to host, you need to be deploy inside of the IAS, Internet Information System. Okay. So for Angular application, no need to be hosted. So these Angular applications having the default feature of host. Okay, 4200. Okay.
What file we need to do for give for server side people or deployment team?
Yes, sir. So server means nowadays we are using the DevOps. So DevOps means we are doing the simple code checking. Other than this one, nothing. So these commands will be configured in the PowerShells. But sir, I want to give the specifically means you are generating these files, right? For example, so you are working. So it will be generate this file inside of the dist. You need to be give this dist folder.
Yes. That's right.
Okay. So once you run the ng, okay, that is a good question. Ng build -prod, it will be generated called a dist. You can able to zip this file dist and give to them directly. Okay. Sir, while giving this to dist folder, what about node modules? No, node modules are the environment up to for the development environment, not for the runtime environment. Runtime is the JavaScript files. So you written some code for this application. All the specific information already pre-rendered by the node modules. All this will be injected. Okay, libraries are injected in a runtime. Sorry, polyfills. Okay, these files you want to give, you can able to give. For example, I want to take some Firebase or so on. So UI also will be there. Where to be host means so these files only you need to be host to. Where to be added references means you need to be add the reference inside of your index.html page. Go to the src index.html page. Here you need to be added references. So you can able to try this one also. For example, create a separate folder, move index.html and move the script to, okay, create a folder called script. You need to be add a reference here. Got it? Okay. You want to see like a simple HTML page instead of the Angular application to be run in a 4200. Create a separate folder, move this HTML and move these files which are inside of the dist folder. Okay, check it just for an idea. Check it, it will work. These are the specific JS files. Runtime Angular will not be there. Everything these files are. Yeah. Any other question?
If possible, I think most of the in our 5 members or 4 members are from server side, from .NET only. I hope. Can you give demo like how will run .NET and
no.
Total
.NET will not be covered here. Already told na.
No,
so
నేను అలా అనట్లేదండి. జస్ట్ అది
Okay, simply open a Visual Studio, create a project called Web API. Once you created a Web API, so what will happen? So Chanaredi or Umesh, can you explain?
Yeah, like
It
we
will
can
create a
create like
4 methods. HTTP get to post to put to delete and run your .NET application. Once you run your .NET application, it will generate a URL, localhost :/4200 so and so so and so. Same like our JSON server is running,
yeah,
same like
same.
this
It
it
is
will
no
be run.
difference.
Same
Yeah,
run,
only
no
the data
difference.
same.
So you need to copy that
Same.
URL and you need to be paste inside of your Angular application.
Context service.
Contact,
Only
that's
thing
it.
is you need to
No
use
difference.
some Swagger or Post to
Huh.
Postman that to check the
API. So from the you already
agency.
are having the Angular application, you need to tell. Simply do one thing. Open a Visual Studio Code 2019 or so and so version. You take a new project, create a Web API project. It automatically create 5 functions or 4 functions. Get, post, put, delete. Again, get with a specific ID also and run that application. That's it. Run that application. However, our JSON server is going to be load same like this. It will be go load and show. You need to be call that here. So you may got if you're using the office laptop, you may got. I mean, what is the issue called cross-site origin? How to fix cross-site origin, Mesh?
There are some packages like
Yes.
one or two
So
packages.
either you can able to do go on the web.configuration yellow cross option cross yellow cross. You need to put like star. Yes, Vijay, how to handle cross-site? You know Vijay, right? Hope you know, right? So you need to add that cross-site origin yellow. Origin means you need to add a star, or else if you want to add a specific.
Particular site is that,
Otherwise,
then
you are
we need
getting
to
the
write
cross-site issue. Cross-site issue. Cross-site origin. Okay, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining the session, sir.
Thank you.
So still, if you want to revision go through our syllabus and content, if you want to revise any subject, let me know. We'll connect tomorrow to revision that particular topic. Okay. Okay, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Andy.